Have you ever wondered why certain struggles, talents, or patterns keep repeating in your life, no matter how hard you try to change them? Maybe you keep stepping into leadership roles even when you don't want to, or maybe you feel emotions more deeply than everyone around you. Perhaps you've noticed that some lessons seem to follow you from job to job, relationship to relationship, year after year. Carl Jung believed these repeating patterns are not accidents. He believed they are clues. Clues left by the unconscious mind, quietly shaping our choices, our fears, and even our sense of purpose. Jung called these patterns archetypes, shared symbols that live deep within all of us, part of what he named the collective unconscious. And here's the intriguing thought. Your birth month may act like a symbolic doorway into one of these archetypal patterns, not as superstition, not as fate carved in stone, but as a psychological imprint. By the end of this video, you may see yourself and your life path in a completely different way. Carl Jung wasn't interested in predicting the future or labeling people. He was interested in meaning. He believed that timing matters, that cycles matter, and that symbolism matters because the human psyche speaks in symbols. Seasons change, life moves in rhythms, and our minds absorb those rhythms in ways we rarely notice. Your birth month doesn't control your destiny, but it may describe the kind of inner landscape you were born into, the emotional weather you've been learning to navigate since your first breath. Think of it as a psychological starting point, not a finish line. With that in mind, let's gently move through the months, not as a checklist, but as a flowing story of human experience. If you were born in January, you may have felt the weight of responsibility early in life. There's often a sense that you had to grow up fast, that expectations were placed on your shoulders before you fully understood what they meant. Jung would call this the ruler archetype, the part of the psyche that seeks order, structure, and control. January-born individuals often develop discipline and resilience because they feel there's no other option. You learn how to lead, how to endure, how to stay steady when others fall apart. But the shadow of this strength can be emotional distance. When you're always the strong one, it's easy to forget that softness is not weakness. Your life lesson isn't to abandon leadership, but to humanize it, to allow warmth and vulnerability to exist alongside authority. February carries a very different emotional tone. If this is your birth month, you may have spent much of your life feeling slightly out of step with the world around you. Jung's dreamer archetype lives strongly here. You see possibilities before others do. Your mind drifts toward the future, toward ideas that feel just out of reach for everyone else. This can make you deeply creative and intuitive, but it can also make you feel misunderstood or alone. The temptation is to escape, to live in imagination instead of reality. Your growth comes when you learn to bring those visions down to earth, turning dreams into something tangible, something that can actually change your life and the lives of others. March brings emotional depth. If you were born in March, you likely feel things intensely, even when you try not to. Jung's mystic archetype shows up here, the part of the psyche that senses what cannot be seen. You may naturally want to help, heal, or comfort others, often without being asked. This compassion is a gift, but it can also become a burden when you absorb pain that isn't yours. Many March-born people struggle with emotional exhaustion because they forget where they end and others begin. Your lesson is not to harden your heart, but to build gentle boundaries, so your kindness remains a source of strength instead of suffering. April arrives with fire. Those born in April often feel like they're always moving forward, always pushing, always ready for the next challenge. Jung would describe this as the hero archetype, driven by courage and action. You may feel most alive when you're starting something new, taking risks, or standing up for yourself. But that same fire can turn into impulsiveness or anger if it isn't guided. The deeper lesson for April is learning how to channel intensity into purpose, how to fight for something meaningful instead of reacting to everything that sparks emotion. May has a quieter strength. If this is your month, you may have a deep appreciation for beauty, comfort, and stability. Jung's creator archetype fits here, not just in art, but in building a life that feels solid and nourishing. Loyalty often matters deeply to you, whether in relationships, work, or personal values. But change can feel threatening, like it risks undoing everything you've carefully built. Growth for you comes when you realize that change doesn't always mean loss. Sometimes it's simply expansion, making room for more life without destroying what you love. June is all about connection. Those born in June often have a strong need to be understood and to understand others. Jung's lover archetype shows up in your ability to communicate, to charm, to bring people together. You may notice that your mood is closely tied to your relationships, that words carry extra weight for you. The shadow side is overthinking, replaying conversations, wondering if you said the wrong thing. Your lesson is learning how to validate yourself first so connection becomes a joy rather than a source of anxiety. July carries deep emotional roots. If you were born in July, you likely feel a strong pull toward home, family, and the past. Jung's mother or father archetype reflects your instinct to protect and care for others. You may be incredibly loyal and emotionally intelligent, sensing shifts in mood before anyone speaks, but this depth can also lead to mood swings or emotional withdrawal when you feel overwhelmed. Your growth comes when you allow yourself to be seen in your vulnerability, understanding that strength doesn't disappear when you open up. August steps into the spotlight. Those born in August often carry the king or queen archetype, a natural presence that draws attention whether you want it or not. Confidence and charisma tend to follow you, along with a desire to be recognized for who you are. But with that desire comes fear, fear of failure, fear of losing status, fear of not living up to expectations. The lesson for August is learning to lead with heart rather than ego, understanding that true power inspires rather than dominates. September is shaped by reflection. If this is your birth month, you may feel a constant pull toward improvement, toward fixing what feels imperfect. Jung's analyst archetype lives here, bringing intelligence, discipline, and a strong sense of service. You likely notice details others miss and hold yourself to high standards. The shadow side is self-criticism, the feeling that nothing you do is ever quite enough. Your lesson is embracing progress over perfection, allowing yourself to grow without punishment. October seeks balance. Those born in October often feel uncomfortable with conflict, preferring harmony and fairness. Jung's diplomat archetype reflects your natural ability to see multiple perspectives and bring peace into tense situations. People may come to you for advice or mediation, but the cost of this can be people-pleasing, sacrificing your truth to keep the peace. Growth comes when you learn that honesty and harmony are not enemies, and that sometimes choosing truth is the most balanced act of all. November carries intensity. If you were born in November, you may feel like your life unfolds in chapters of transformation. Jung's phoenix archetype represents death and rebirth, the cycle of destruction and renewal. You likely experience emotions deeply and intuitively sense what lies beneath the surface. This depth gives you resilience, but it can also lead to obsession or emotional extremes. Your lesson is learning that real power comes from transformation, not control, and that letting go is sometimes the most courageous act. December closes the cycle. Those born in December often feel like old souls, carrying wisdom that seems to exceed their age. Jung's sage archetype appears in your optimism, generosity, and spiritual curiosity. You may naturally look for meaning beyond the material world, but there can also be a tendency to escape, to stay in ideas and possibilities without grounding them in action. Your growth comes when you turn wisdom into lived experience, allowing insight to shape your daily life. When you step back and look at all these months together, a powerful truth emerges. These are patterns, not prisons. Carl Jung believed that awareness is the first step toward freedom. When you recognize your patterns, they stop controlling you from the shadows. They become tools instead of chains. Your birth month doesn't limit you, but it may highlight the lessons your soul keeps returning to, asking to be understood rather than ignored. Your birth month didn't decide your fate, but understanding it might help you finally take control of it. Take a moment to reflect, not on whether this is right or wrong, but on what resonated. Notice what stirred something inside you. If something clicked, that's worth paying attention to. Share your birth month in the comments and what stood out most to you. And if you want to explore more ideas like this, where psychology, meaning, and self-discovery come together, visit the channel and watch more videos like this. You may be surprised by what you uncover about yourself next.